All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take Sharp and Shapiro. Hour number 2, Jamison Walsh will be joining us in studio from Drive Time Sports. That UNLV debacle continues with the UNLV basketball program and the attendance. It was very bad. Also, something very bad. If you're waiting tables, apparently at Mexican restaurants, this is what can happen if you wait on a table of a Trump supporter that is a complete moron and racist. So this guy at this Mexican restaurant in Alabama, instead of leaving a tip, the man who dined at this place called Churritos Bar and Grill, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in Huntsville, Alabama, he pissed off the waitstaff. He actually, I guess it was a woman that was serving his cake. He called her a brown C word. He wrote it on the check, and then he said, "Trump will F you all." This was a Mexican woman that was serving his table. The restaurant said that the man's visit was fairly normal until the waitress asked him, "Are you paying cash or credit?" And his response to her was, "White people don't carry cash on them." Obviously a Trump supporter, and it is amazing to me the hatred that is out there in the world. And I'm not going to blame Donald Trump for what this person did, but I am going to say he is not helping the situation. Just like when Barack Obama was president, I said he's not helping the discourse with racial tensions in this country. I would say Donald Trump is making it worse. And speaking of the wall, we have some audio to play you. I don't know if I would ever vote for Beto O'Rourke, but certainly he gets out there and he gets a lot of people showing up to his rallies. I think he's a decent guy. So he had this speech that he made yesterday in regards to the wall. And, JD, I want you to listen to it, and then we'll take some phone calls on this. Here is Beto O'Rourke.
Here, a city that has been one of the safest in the United States of America for 20 years and counting, safe long before a wall was built here in 2008. In fact, a little less safe after that wall was built. We can show the rest of the country as we make our stand here together tonight that walls do not make us safer. We know that walls do not save lives. Walls end lives. We stand for America, and we stand against walls.
So there you go. That's Beto O'Rourke. I think some people would disagree with that. To an extent, I agree with what he's saying. When we talk about this city in Texas and Donald Trump's comments in this city about how great the walls have turned out to be and it's lowered crime. Look, he lied. The president point blank lied about the walls in Texas and the crime rates. So O'Rourke is right on that, and I think when any politician lies, they should be called out for it. I don't know if I would agree when I say walls make the country less safe. I don't think I would go that far. But, JD, when you hear O'Rourke talking about that, and he's pretty extreme to the left, what do you make of those comments?
Well, I think the wall is a good idea. So my response is going to be outstanding. You're not going to love my response, but I think it's very good to stop. First of all, I don't really have a problem with knowing who was in the United States, being able to track them. I mean, if I go to Germany or if I go to really any other European country, I have to have a passport. If I get to the airport, if I don't have a passport, I don't get in. Once I'm in, they know where I'm at all the time. I don't think that's unreasonable. And that this opioid epidemic is very, very real. This fentanyl, a very, very small drop of it can kill someone.
I understand that, but the majority of people coming into this country illegally are going through other ports of entry.
And Donald Trump, during the State of the Union, he said verbatim, he said, "I want as many immigrants as possible to come to the United States, but I want them to enter legally."
Yeah. Well, when he says,
I don't have an issue with that. Yeah, I don't understand how you could either.
I don't have an issue with that. I just don't know how truthful he's being when he does say that. The number to call, 257-5396, 702-257-5396. Let's start off with James. James, thanks for calling in. How are you?
Hi, James.
Hey, man, I'm doing good. Good to talk to you again. How you doing tonight?
Good, James. What's on your mind, my man?
Yeah, man, I'd like to talk about this whole wall issue. You know, I grew up in Southeast Texas. Where Hispanic was a predominant race, and I agree with having to maybe beef up security, border patrol security. But in terms of a wall, I mean, in all honesty, that's like saying that a padlock's going to keep out every criminal.
Right. To an extent, I agree with what you're saying. Here's what I think they should do, James, and you tell me if you disagree or not. He wants $5.6 billion for the wall. If they've gave him $1 or $2 billion to make improvements and build some more walls, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Take $3 or $4 billion, and let's discuss the issue of people who overstay their visas in this country. Come up with some sort of system that can help vet these people and make sure that they don't overstay their visas, because the majority of illegals that are in this country, that's what they do. They overstay their visas. So, Trump doesn't want to talk about that, and I think the reason why he doesn't want to talk about that is he made a lie to the American people on the campaign trail. It was a lie. He said, we're going to build a wall, and Mexico is going to pay for it. Well, guess what? Mexico ain't paying for this wall, and I think this is more of a campaign promise that which he obviously won't do. Mexico's not paying for anything. That's the way I see it, James. And if he wants $5.6 billion, I think it's got to go to a lot of other things if he really cares about illegal immigration. What do you say to that?
I 100% agree. There can definitely be improvements without spending near as much money. You can improve on where, the most hindrance is in the cities. Like, he's going on about one city being completely safe. Well, obviously, the wall's working there. What's there is working there. So why not make improvements on where it's the worst?
I agree.
Instead of spending all this money up front. And then as far as the visas, absolutely. If people want to come over here, the more the merrier, but do it legally. Do it the right way.
James, we are in complete agreement, my friend. Hey, I always appreciate it when you call in. Good to hear from you, James. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, James.
Night,
all right. Thank you very much. Next caller we have on the line, I believe, is Steve. Steve, thanks for calling in. How are you, Steve? Good, Steve. What's on your mind?
Walls work. Of course they work. Any politician has a wall in front of their home. If they don't have a wall in front of their home, why don't they tear their wall down and see if somebody doesn't go down?
That's not the issue, Steve.
Break into their home or do something even worse.
I understand.
Of course, walls are going to work to a certain extent. You know that.
I didn't say walls didn't work, Steve. When did I say walls didn't work?
No, I know you didn't. But that guy O'Rourke that you're talking about that's saying that walls don't work, he's just blabber-mouthing his mouth.
I don't agree with that.
75% of the voters are going to vote for Trump again next year. It's 4-to-1 ratio that Trump
Where are you getting that stat? Where are you getting that?
4 years. I guarantee that. I will put anything on the line. I guarantee you 4-to-1 he will be re-voted.
Hold on. All right, hold on. Slow down.
Let me tell you that.
Hold on, Steve. Slow down for a second here. You're telling me that in the popular vote, which, by the way, the president did not win the popular vote. Let's remember. You're telling me that you believe out of every single person that votes in 2020, Trump is going to get 75% of the vote? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
He's doing everything for America.
All right, let's make I will make a bet. I'll make a bet with you right now.
Obama turned this country with hatred. Obama started that hatred stuff. So
stop that,
Trump,
Steve.
Blame Obama too.
Steve, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Steve? How did Obama spread hate? What the hell are you talking about? Give me one example. Give me an example.
He didn't care about doing anything for
Give me a specific. If you're going to make Steve,
nothing but the rich people.
Steve, give me a specific example. If you're going to say something dumb on my show,
that's why they sent $420 million to Iraq on 2 planes, and that was taxpayer money.
Yes, it was. That doesn't mean he spreads hate.
Fed people that were poor in America, but he goes and kisses up to Iraq.
Let me ask you a question, Steve. Let me ask you a question. Okay, Steve, let me ask you a question. And by the way, I didn't agree with that. I'm in agreement with you. That was a bad decision. But if you're so against hate and you're so against kissing the ass of other foreign leaders, what do you think about Donald Trump standing on a stage with Vladimir Putin when Putin says, I didn't interfere in the elections, and Trump believes him over own intelligence? Do you have that much anger over that?
You know what? Putin knows he better not mess with Trump because
that
Trump
wasn't my question. That was not my question, Steve.
Strong man, and we're glad he's in office.
You're not nice, Steve.
Out of 5 Americans, we'll
you know what that is? Okay, thank you for the call, Steve. Thank you for not answering my question. That is called deflection. I have absolutely zero respect for Steve's opinion. If he answered that question honestly, then I would say, okay, you don't like Obama, you think he spreads hate. What about Trump? See, a guy like that it's called being intellectually honest. He is not intellectually honest. He is biased as you can be. And I have no respect for people like that. Let's go to Josh. Josh, thanks for calling in the Vegas Take. How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing all right, Josh. What's on your mind, man?
Hey, I called a couple nights ago about, things that you guys may be missing with the country. And I think immigration and the wall is just a whole nother issue. It's a big part of how, whether you want to say what Trump said was a campaign promise and it's a lie,
Well, it
But
is.
that's what he was. Okay, well, that's what got him elected.
Well,
you know?
people. Well, then people voted for a
instead of-
liar. That's fine. Let's admit that people voted for a lie. Can we call it what it is?
well,
Can I, Josh? I'm not going to hang up on you. Just give me a second here. So Jim Acosta. Some people like him. Some people don't like him. But he tweeted something out that's very interesting, and I want to know what your thoughts are on this. And JD, your thoughts on this as well. He said, number one, Mexico's not going to pay for the wall. That was a lie. The trade deal will not pay for the wall. That was a lie. He's right on that. The shutdown over whether taxpayers will pay for it. Yeah, that's not working out very well, is it? Now it's going to the courts to decide if the executive action can be used to pay for it. Now, that's pretty accurate. You could disagree with Jim Acosta. You could think he's way to the left and this and that, but he's absolutely right. This has been a disaster for the president.
Okay, so what makes Jim Acosta like the end-all be-all? How is the new trade deal that we're going to save billions of dollars on in the North American trade that Trump has with Mexico and Canada?
It's not going to pay for the wall.
Not us.
It's not going to pay for. It's not going to pay for the wall. He said it was going to pay for the wall. It's not.
What are the numbers then? Give me the numbers then, if you're so sure.
You want me to give you the exact numbers on how much money the trade deal will bring us? You think it's going to bring us a fraction of $5.6 billion? Do you really believe that?
Yes.
It's not.
Do you have any idea how many billions that we trade with Mexico every year?
Yeah, that's not going to pay for the wall, though. But go on and make your point, Steve. We'll have to agree to disagree on that one. I agree with Acosta. You don't. That's fine.
Yeah, this isn't Steve. This is Josh.
I apologize.
What I wanted to say, partner, is that whether you like Trump or you don't, this is what got him elected. And something needs to be done. And if it's not Trump's way, it should be someone else's. But that's my point, is that Democrats and other politicians refuse to pick up this issue. It's so clear that the Democrats are looking to illegal immigrants to be their constituents. It's why you guys fight and fight and fight when it always comes to them, but never for us. That's why you don't want the citizenship question on the census coming up next year. It's so plain to everyone that can see. And I can't believe the Democrats have dropped the blue-collar voter, that you think you're going to do better with illegals. It's insane.
Not just illegals, but also people on welfare, and that's been going on for a long, long time. I do agree. I think that if Trump wasn't president, this wall would be built. But the Democrats right now, they're just doing this to spite Trump, despite the fact that it's actually hurting the United States of America.
I don't know what you mean, Josh, by you. I'm not a Democrat, but I understand. I don't disagree with everything you said. I don't. We disagree a little bit on the wall and its premise and the money put forth.
But I agree that the blind hatred for Donald Trump by the left is going to long term hurt America more than it is help it.
Well, I think I agree, but I also think a lot of the things that Donald Trump says on a daily basis also hurt America. So I think we'll agree on that as well. 257-5396 is the number to call. Again, 702-257-5396. Let's go to Mr. Smack. Do I have that right? Mr. Smack? I like that name. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Smack.
It's a beautiful name.
What's on your mind, man, Mr. S?
I called your person there, and I told him how I figured the wall would be paid for.
How's that?
Okay, if you put up a wall, enough of it, you are going to deter all of these people, many people coming, and you will save so much money from paying welfare and on, food stamps, that it will pay for the wall. Indirectly. Do you understand?
In a way, JD, what do you think about that?
In-kind payment, I agree with that.
And then if you put a couple of butterflies on top that are solar-powered, I mean, you're in business.
I think the Democrats would like that. They're certainly in favor of solar power, are they not? There's no doubt about that. They would be in favor of that. Look.
It will pay for it indirectly.
I think that's possible. And again, I try to be consistent, Mr. S, on what I say on this show on a regular basis. I am for border security. No, I'm not a left-wing radical that thinks there should be no walls, that sort of deal. All I'm saying is you put $5.6 billion towards this. You got to put it towards other things involving illegal immigration as well.
Let me put it to you this way. You've got 12,000 headed up here right now, right? The next caravan. Okay, if we let them in like Pelosi would love to, and she has no problem, and I have no problem with it. But the deal is, if we brought those people into this country, those 12,000, it would cost this country and taxpayers more money in the first year to take care of those people and to put some mud up there for a wall.
And that's true. If the government doesn't take care of these people, the question is, where are they going to live? What are they going to do?
I am out. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. S.
Great call. Great call, Mr. Smack.
Appreciate it. The number to call, 257-5396. Again, the number to call if you want to be a part of the program, 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Here's another wild and crazy story in regards to Donald Trump, of course. Apparently, Trump's inaugural chief asked about the Khashoggi murder today and joking and defending the Saudis. This is just absolutely disgusting. His name is Tom Barrack. He's a key donor and a friend of President Donald Trump. He attempted today to justify the killing of this Washington Post journalist, arguing that the U.S. does not have a moral authority to criticize Saudi Arabia due to its own record of atrocities, which is absolutely ridiculous. When asked whether Khashoggi's murder has damaged Saudi Arabia's reputation on the world stage, he began to answer with a joke about attributing public outrage over the killing in the U.S. to a Western misunderstanding of the Saudi rule of law. He said, quote, "As long as you don't make me a guest at the Ritz." So he thinks it's funny that this guy Khashoggi, his body was, cut up into pieces and he was brutally murdered. And yes, Donald Trump's key donor and friend said this. He said, "I believe that the problem with what's happened with the Khashoggi incident is the same problem of the West misunderstanding the East that's existed since Sykes. And so the West," he said, "is confused that the rule of law doesn't understand what the rule of law is in the kingdom." What the hell is this guy talking about? The bottom line is these people murdered somebody. They murdered a journalist, and they should be held accountable and responsible. And this guy's making jokes about it. And what a shocker that he's the key donor of Donald Trump and one of Donald Trump's personal friends. It's a joke. Is this the state of politics that we live in? How about this woman, Omar? I'm getting more and more angry at her by the day. This anti-Semite, disgusting human being who has made anti-Semitic remarks on numerous occasions, says she apologizes for it, and then when asked about it today, she said she was, quote, excited about her controversial views on Israel, sparking debate. Let me tell you something. There's nothing exciting about an anti-Semite in Congress. There's nothing exciting about an elected official. And I'm happy she's Muslim. We need more Muslims. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But she is a blatant hatred anti-Semite. And she calls it exciting.
Or an anti-any race or religion, for that matter.
Correct.
For example, the guy out of West Virginia recently.
Well, how about all of them? How about Fairfax? Fairfax won't step down. The governor of Virginia won't step down for blackface.
Like it or not, the country is a total melting pot right now.
Yes, it is.
And to be completely clear and honest, the highest birth rate right now is with Mexican Americans, African Americans, Muslim Americans. So in the next 10 to 15 or 20 years, the racial distribution in the United States is going to be very close to equal across the board.
And I hope that's the case.
And you will see a new minority just due to birth rates.
And I hope there are more minorities representing. But this woman, Omar, is a disgusting piece of garbage. She said, quote, once, "Israel has hypnotized the world." That's what she said. "May Allah awaken the people and help them see the evil doings of Israel." What the F is she talking about?
Anybody who's making statements like that has absolutely no business anywhere near the United States government.
What the hell is she talking about? Can somebody please explain this to me? Would anybody support this woman? How does she get into office? And you know what? I was wrong. Several months ago, I did not know her past. I didn't know she made some of these remarks. It's absolutely disgusting. And she calls it exciting? Exciting?
Now, that being said, Barack Obama was directly connected to quite a few people who made statements like this.
Okay, but there's a fine line between
Obviously, he didn't make them himself, but he was very, very closely connected to a couple people who made statements like that.
Barack Obama never said anything, in my opinion, that was anywhere near as atrocious as this woman. She's a disgusting person. 257-5396 is the number to call. 702-257-5396. Let's go to Ron. Ron, thanks for calling in. How are you?
Hi, Ron.
Hello, gentlemen. How is it tonight?
Good. What's on your mind, my friend?
Okay.
Well, I hear you guys talking about the Jewish people and the Muslims.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you have any idea why the Muslims hate the Jews?
Do I have any idea why Muslims hate the Jews?
How it started. Let's put it that way.
I'll tell you what I do know. I know that many of the Muslims are the ones that are committing terrorist acts on Jewish people and Israelis.
You're not answering my question.
Well,
you don't know the,
hold on.
Let me give you the answer.
Okay, well, you just interrupted me. I was trying to answer your question. I wasn't done yet. Can I finish, Ron? Is that all right?
I'll
take that as a no. Go ahead.
They don't get along.
Okay, you seem to know, Ron. Go ahead and tell me. This isn't a quiz. Go ahead.
All the way back to Muhammad. You see, when Muhammad was being invaded by the southern armies, okay?
So does that make it okay? What's your point?
Muhammad was in Medina, and he asked the Jewish population
so
there.
What does that have to...
Ron, did any of that originate...
Please let me finish.
Well, you didn't let me finish. You didn't even let me answer your freaking question. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to
educate you?
No, you're not. You're not educating me. You're sounding like a fool. That's what you're sounding like.
Ron.
I'm an educated man, you asshole.
Yeah. Goodbye. Get off the line, you idiot. Goodbye.
Hey.
We got another anti-Semite, ladies and gentlemen. The anti-Semite award.
Great call, Ron.
Yeah, great call.
Hey, and despite that history, how much of that originated in the United States? The answer is zero.
I'm going to guess.
So why carry it over here?
I'm just going to make a guess that Ron doesn't have any Jewish friends, and he's actually trying to make excuses going back hundreds, thousands of years, saying, well, it's okay to be an anti-Semite. That's basically what Ron is saying. I bet you Ron is the type of racist, anti-Semitic clown who would vote for Omar, this woman who clearly has hatred in her body. Clearly, she is hatred. And there are people out there like Ron that are really scary that will go back to Muhammad. And those are the same type of people that'll talk about stories thousands of years ago. Thinks he's educating me. Well, I'll tell you what, Ron. Let me educate you for a second. You are a vile and disgusting human being. You are clearly you are an anti-Semite. Clearly, and people like you should not be on this planet. So now I'm educating you. So what do you think about that, Ron? I hope you don't have any. I hope you don't have any kids in this world. They don't need to grow up with a father like you hatred punk. How do you like that, JD? I just educated him. I wonder if he likes that. No, I'm not going to take his call again. Ron, I'm not going to take your call again. See, now the coward is calling back. No, you get one shot. And if you say something stupid, you don't get to call back. What do you think about that, Ron? You coward. Holy schmagoli. People like that get me afraid. People like that make me think that a guy like Ron's going to walk into a synagogue and shoot 20 people. The kind of guy like Ron. Nice job, buddy. Nice job. Apparently, according to Ron, it's okay to hate Jewish people. Yeah, there you go, buddy.
I don't think he was saying that. He was just trying to explain where it all came from.
I know exactly where he was going with that phone call. I can tell.
While insulting your knowledge in the process.
Yeah. Ron, thanks for the call, buddy. Got 30 seconds. Let's take a quick call from Jeff. Jeff, go ahead.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Brian, I just have a question for you.
Yes.
You seem pretty upset about these views that Ilhan Omar has been expressing.
Yes.
And she was elected by a largely Muslim district, I believe, in Minnesota somewhere.
Yes, she was.
Many Somalian refugees. I was just wondering, how much of an outlier do you think those views are from the congressional districts she came from?
Good question. Good question. I got to take a quick break, and I apologize, Jeff. It's a good question. I'm up against a break. I'll tell you what, Jeff, I'm going to answer that question when we come back, okay? Unfortunately, I'm up against a hard break. I got to go. That is a very, very good question, and I will give you my heartfelt, honest answer when we come back. You're listening to The Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDWN.